All right, today we're diving deep into a movement that's reshaping how we think about getting older. It's not just about living longer lives, it's about making those extra years healthier, stronger, and more fulfilling. We're talking about active aging, and trust me, it's one of the biggest things happening in fitness right now.
And if you need proof of just how big this is, let's start with a number. By 2033, the market for active aging fitness is expected to hit over $28 billion. This isn't some small passing trend. This is a fundamental shift in our society, and it's driven by a pretty simple but powerful reality.
So, what do we even mean by active aging? Well, the World Health Organization puts it really well. It's not just one thing. It's the whole process of maximizing our chances for good health, staying involved in our communities, and feeling secure, all to make our quality of life better as we age. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Okay, first up, the aging revolution. To really get what's going on, you have to understand two key things. First, the incredible demographic wave that's happening globally, and second, how the science has sharpened its focus to figure out what truly makes a difference.
And here is the engine behind all of it. By 2030, and that is right around the corner, more than 1 out of every 5 people on this planet will be over 60. This isn't some far-off prediction. It's happening now, and it's completely changing what we need from our healthcare and fitness industries. What's really cool is how our understanding of all this has gotten so much clearer. The early scientific models they were complicated, a huge web of different factors. But the latest research has really cut through that noise and pointed us toward a much simpler, more powerful way of looking at it. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. We've moved from that messy, theoretical web of 6 different factors to a laser focus on just 2 components that have been proven to matter most. First, there's the health component, basically how well your body functions. And second, the psychological component, your sense of well-being, happiness, and resilience. The big takeaway? It's about the body and the mind working together. So let's get practical. Let's talk about the actual workouts. In this next section, we're looking at the specific, science-backed exercises that build the kind of strength that lets you live independently and confidently. The official playbook is pretty clear. The CDC gives us a solid baseline. Get about 150 minutes of aerobic activity, hit some muscle strengthening work twice a week, and this part is absolutely crucial, do exercises to improve your balance. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a prescription based on tons of data. So how do we get there? Well, the research points to 4 main pillars. Number 1, resistance training. This is non-negotiable for fighting off muscle loss. It can boost strength by up to 40%. 2, multimodal exercise. That's just a fancy way of saying you mix different types of training to improve real-world things like balance. 3, meditative movement, like Tai Chi, which is amazing for reducing the risk of falls. And 4, expert supervision. This is key for staying safe and, honestly, for getting the best results. Now, let's just pause on that multimodal pillar for a second. Look at that number, a 21% protective effect against falls. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but in the world of preventative medicine, that is a huge, life-changing number. It's the difference between a minor stumble and a major injury. But like we said, the new science doesn't stop with the body. The real cutting-edge stuff is about training the mind and body at the same time. We're going to dive into how we can integrate cognitive challenges and make fitness work for everybody. This slide really shows the before and after picture. The old way of thinking about senior fitness was often kind of passive. Lots of low-intensity stuff that, frankly, really underestimated people. The new science? It's all about effective, high-impact workouts that challenge your brain and your body simultaneously. And the name for this is dual task training. It's exactly what it sounds like. You do a brain task and a body task at the same time. And why would you do that? Because that's what real life is. Think about it. Walking through a busy store, carrying groceries while you talk on the phone. This type of training literally makes your brain better at handling that cognitive load, which makes you more stable on your feet. And the best part is, you don't need some fancy gym to do this. You can try it at home. Next time you're out for a walk, try counting backwards from 100 by, say, 3s or 7s. Or try balancing on one leg while you say the alphabet backward. It is way harder than it sounds, but it's an incredible way to fire up those neural pathways. Of course, none of this works if it isn't accessible. That's where adaptive fitness comes in. It's all about modifying exercises so they work for every single person, no matter their physical or cognitive ability. It's about breaking down barriers, whether that's fear or a gym that's hard to get around in.
Think about things like chair yoga, seated strength training, or the low-impact version of Zumba called Zumba Gold. They deliver all the benefits in a way that everyone can participate in.
Okay, this all sounds amazing in a lab, but how does this actually reach millions of people in the real world? And that brings us to our last section, how these programs are scaled up and why social connection is a secret ingredient. So, in the United States, one of the biggest ways this happens is through Medicare Advantage plans. A lot of these insurance plans actually include these specialized fitness programs as an extra benefit, which means millions of people can access them for little to no extra cost. It's built right in. And you've probably heard of some of these. Two of the biggest are Silver Sneakers, which is famous for getting you into thousands of different gyms and really building a sense of community. Then you've got Renew Active from United Healthcare, which is really interesting because they also include things like personalized fitness plans and even those cognitive brain challenges we were just talking about. And that community aspect brings us right back to that all-important psychological component. See, it's not just about lifting the weights. The research is clear that working out in a group creates this amazing, supportive social environment. It fights off isolation and builds emotional resilience, which is every bit as important as physical strength when it comes to healthy aging. So, when you put this all together, it kind of leads to a pretty big question for all of us. As we're all living longer, is our old definition of fitness, the one that's just about muscles and cardio, is it really up to the task? Because the future is already here. And it's telling us the real fitness for a long and healthy life isn't just about how much you can lift. It's about functional independence to do the things you love, cognitive resilience to stay sharp as a tack, and that deep psychological well-being that actually lets you enjoy all those extra years. That is the active aging revolution.